Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Rerun on Coffee podcast. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Arika.
And in all reality, for you guys, it seems like we haven't taken a break, but we took like a 3-week break from recording, and it's kind of crazy.
It's kind of funny because we always say like, oh, it's been so long, but you guys are probably annoyed by hearing us say that at this point. We're always like, oh, we haven't talked in so long. Like,
That's
we
so
get it,
funny.
guys.
But we did
But
talk.
it's been a long time.
It was just I was in Ohio, and
No
we weren't
recording.
like on Zoom, you know?
We weren't working. We were on vacation.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
So, what are you drinking, Arika?
Okay. I did actually get a kind of fun drink. We're doing, you guys, a midday episode. Well, evening, I guess. It's not midday anymore.
It's 6 p.m.
My day's all over. Yeah, my day's all over the place. But no coffee. So that means I'm drinking a big wine glass of lemonade.
Oh.
I was like, it's cute vibes, but also it's just like sugary and good.
Yeah, I guess I could have put mine in a cute cup, but I have a limoncello LaCroix.
Love. Okay, same vibes. We're on the same length here, wavelength. I haven't had anything to drink today besides water because I'll tell you guys in a bit that I've been hiking a lot today. And I just wanted something like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Like full sugar. I was like, I also did have a sparkling water, you guys. I had let me tell you, a Polar cranberry lime. It's not completely gone, but it's getting close. So I have that too, I guess.
That's okay.
Ah, oh, maybe I'll put it in the lemonade.
You said you didn't have anything other than lemonade or other than water today. Did you not have a coffee this morning?
Oh, I lied then.
Okay.
I definitely had coffee. Imagine if I was like, nah, I just raw dogged my whole day.
Well, I was curious because you said it like it's abnormal, but I only drink water during the day.
I drink a lot of... Okay, do we count sparkling water as water is the question?
Yes.
Okay, then disregard what I said. Okay. I haven't had anything today except still water, which is odd for me because I usually drink a lot. I'm not going to lie. I drink a couple sparkling waters like every day.
It's yummy.
I love it. But yeah, so I did have coffee, but then we left our house at like 9 a.m. and then we just got home a little bit ago. Okay. So I've only had still water. I sound so bougie. Still water. What are you drinking? Oh, you said your LaCroix. Yeah. I'm all over the place. I literally was 90 degrees out and we hiked 5 miles today. Spoiler alert. And it was really hot. I'm like not all here.
Well, here goes us again. Classic us talking about weather. It's going to be 102 degrees here on Tuesday.
No. I haven't even looked at the weather this week. I'm scared. That's really insane.
Bad. We're under a heat advisory until at least Monday.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's always so hot here.
Ours is not that crazy. I was just checking to see. Monday's going to be 93.
Oh, yeah.
Not 102. That's crazy.
Yeah.
10 whole more degrees. Anyways, okay, you guys. So, yeah, we haven't recorded in 3 weeks. Usually it's like every 2 weeks, but yeah, you guys get it. Anyways, that means we have a lot to catch up on. So, do you want to start?
Yeah, I can. So, let me pull up my calendar to make sure that I don't miss anything. Okay, so obviously, I feel like I'm just going to start with last week because last week I was in Ohio all week and I started out with going to Cincinnati to visit with my friends Jada, Jen, Deja, Courtney. I think that was everybody. There was like 5 of us there. So yeah, that was 4 people plus me. So 5. And we went out to some bars in Cincinnati, which was cool to just like see like a different city from like a new perspective because I've been to Cincinnati before, but whenever I go there, I've only been to like football games for like the Bengals. So I haven't seen the city from like all perspectives. So that was really cool. And then I got to see a bunch of people. I got to see like all family, all friends when I was in Ohio. And then we ran the 5K. Yeah. And everybody finished. And we all did good.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how much has happened
I know.
in this amount of time. It's literally insane.
I'm excited to hear your recap of the 5K when we get there. I think it was good. Yes. I didn't have fun. It was like really humid.
I didn't have fun.
It was 92% humidity the day that we did the 5K. So
that's crazy.
It was awful. I hadn't ran in like 4 weeks because Kyle refuses to run with me. So I never went. And yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it was really like, it's so thick, you know?
Mm-hmm. Very thick. But I went on a walk with my friend Hunter, and we ended up getting dinner together. And I got to see her mom, and that was cool. And then we had a cookout, and that was really fun. We played some games. Erica showed us a new like MTV music game, and it was really fun.
It was fun. Yeah, I really like that game now. I haven't played it again yet, but I was like, this needs to be in the rotation. I like it.
I liked it a lot. But that was like the short version of the recap of my week at Ohio. And the week before that, I know when we last recorded, I said I was about to go on like a really, really hot walk because it was so hot that weekend too.
Yes, that's right.
And it was really good. We went to our walk and then we ended up going to Chewy's. We were supposed to go and get pizza after at my friend Brooke's apartment, but we didn't. We went to Chewy's instead and it was delicious.
And they didn't have your wallet.
No, they didn't.
Rude.
But update on the wallet situation. I got all my cards, my ID, and a new wallet now. So
thank God. Good. Phew. At least it's taken care of.
And since I got new cards and everything, my old cards have been like discontinued. Yeah. So like nobody's going to steal my money or anything.
They're deactivated if you're listening to this and you have them.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
Yes. And then the only other thing is that Owen's birthday was on June 28th and we went out to dinner and it was really cute.
Aww. That's so cute. I love it. And I saw you were watching some scary movies.
Yeah. Me and Owen have decided that she's like my spooky movie gal. So we're like watching a bunch of movie series that she's never seen before. We have now finished all the Scream movies together. We watched the Fear Street trilogy together and we finished that last night. And then today we were going to try and start the Halloween movie series, but there's 13 movies in the first movie. I'm sorry. Horror people are going to yell at me. The first original Halloween movie is boring, and I did not like it. So we started watching The Strangers, which is like another horror movie franchise, and they're coming out with like their 4th movie this fall. And I really liked it. So we watched the first movie today.
Oh, that's cute. You guys have to see it together.
I know. I'm excited.
I love that.
And then they're coming out with a 5th movie.
We were just talking today, you guys, about the It Ends With Us movie. So if you joined our book club, wait, that was book club, right? Yeah. If you joined our book club when we did It Ends With Us and you liked the book, stay tuned because the movie's about to come out.
Yeah, it's coming out on August 9th.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
And whenever this episode is coming out is before that, I think.
I think so.
I have no idea. July 24th. So yeah, we're Gucci.
Yeah.
Go see the movie.
Yes, everybody go see it.
Dang.
I'm trying to think. The only other update I have is that there was a water main break near my work last night.
Yeah,
and I got to leave.
I'm like, what the heck?
I got to leave work 3 hours early because they had to shut down our building because we work with chemicals and stuff. We cannot run a building if we don't have an emergency eye wash or emergency shower station. And because the water was turned off, we couldn't have either of those. And so we closed, and then I'm supposed to go to work on Sunday, which is tomorrow, and I don't know if they're going to be open.
Interesting. When you said that, I was like, again? That's so weird. And it's just because I think I don't work at a building that I'm like, I forget these things happen, but something like this happened before at your work, right?
I've never had a water main break. I think it was somebody else.
Oh, I know it was on the podcast. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
I know it was on the podcast, but it was something, and you had to literally you had to go and do. Well, I know you had to help during renovations, but there was something else, maybe power outage or something.
Yeah, we have power outages often.
Oh, okay.
But that's because we're on the main server of the electric line that runs along the side of 95 South, and that just is a big area for accidents.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, geez, work.
Yeah,
figure it out.
Okay. No, I'm okay.
But at least you got off early. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's nice, actually.
They can have as many foundational things
please have problems.
That's okay. Well, I do need my overtime because I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. We had mandatory overtime, and the next 2 weeks we also have mandatory overtime. So I really need them to not be closed tomorrow so that I can get my overtime in.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What happens if you don't?
I have to add it up during the week.
Oh, that sucks,
I'm doing 11 hours of overtime next week, and I was going to do 5 hours on the weekend and then 6 during the week, and it would be really tough to do 11 during the week, and I'd prefer to not.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, fingers crossed for this problem.
Yes.
Good Lord. Stress. Okay, I have a lot of updates, you guys. I have time-based updates, and then I have 3 just life updates that I think are fun. They're not big, but they're just fun. First thing is, a couple weeks ago at this point, we went to see Lion King on Broadway. And I just have to say, it was so freaking amazing. If you're listening to this and you haven't seen Lion King on Broadway, you have to go. This is my second time seeing it, but the first time I was younger and I remember it a little, but it was cool to see it again when you like are fully there and know what like you're doing. So it was really cool. We went for Angela's mom's birthday. So we went with Julie, Oma, everybody, all the siblings, like you guys know who they are. List everybody over and over. So yeah, we went with all of Angela's family and it was super fun. And then after that, we had John's party. So you guys have heard the buildup of like, John's coming home. Angela's friends, John's coming home. We're having a party, blah, blah, blah. Finally had the party. It was super fun. We played Nintendo Switch on a projector on the side of our house, which is really cute. And we did like the Jackbox games like Quiplash and all those fun games that everyone loves. So that was a lot of fun. Just had a cookout, very casual. And then it was Angela's dad's birthday. He has his whole family's birthdays are in June, so it was crazy. Angela's dad's birthday, we invited him over and we cooked him steaks on the grill and like made him a whole dinner. And then I baked a cake, and oh my god, it was so good. It was a carrot cake, and then I put like cream cheese frosting and then blueberries. Which shout out if you don't do milk or dairy, people, or lactose, canned frosting at the store most of the time doesn't have milk in it. Sketch, I know, but delish. So if you're ever out there and you're like, I want some frosting, you can probably get it. Just check. So we had a little cake for his birthday and that was so cute. And we've been having just like a lot of cookouts. It's cookout season, if you will. Okay, the next thing I wrote is that Angela and I had our June date. So I thought I would tell you guys on the pod. I don't remember if I whispered it on the pod. I might have.
You did.
But
I just edited the podcast this morning. So.
I knew I whispered, but I was like, was that just to Marissa or recorded? Yeah, so we did what I said we did, which was we went to this place called, I don't think I said this. We went to a place called Dirty Frank's Hot Dog Palace in downtown Columbus. And it's literally just like a hot dog place. But I was excited because they have corn dogs. And I specifically really like corn dogs. And I feel like they're never on a menu. It's always like I don't know, chili dogs, but never a corn dog. So we went there and got corn dogs. And by the way, corn dogs were mid. They were just like a frozen corn dog that they cooked. And it was like, meh. But then we went to the poutine window. So we both got, not both, we shared an order of poutine. And this is, if you live in Columbus, it's near Cosi. And it's like a restaurant in the front, and it's called Little West Tavern. And then it's like they cut a hole in the back kitchen. Like if you look in, you see the kitchen of that restaurant that's on the front. And you just walk up to the window and you can just only get poutine or cocktails. That's so cute. So
funny.
So, and then they set up like a little seating area outside. So we went there, got poutine. It was delicious. And then we went to Dave & Buster's, and I spent all my swipes on the quarter game. That's so literally funny. All of them. We were like, we're only putting $22 in, which was like 100 game plays or whatever, chips, whatever they're called, points, I don't know. And we played the quarter game over and over until we almost ran out, and then we played Jurassic Park shooting game once, and then we left. We burned through 100 points in probably 15 minutes. It was sad.
Insane.
It was a little sick, but it was fun nonetheless. And we just keep going there because it's fun and saving our tickets. So now we actually have like a decent amount of tickets. So we'll have to go to the shop sometime.
Yeah, you'll have to get a big prize.
I know, right? They have a Nintendo Switch in there, and we calculated it. We calculated out how much it would cost at the rate that we were winning tickets in dollars to buy this Nintendo Switch with tickets, and its dollar value would be like thousands of dollars when a Nintendo Switch is like $300. It was like, this is so crazy. Like, how crazy is that? Yeah. So that was our date night. That was fun. I just wrote cookout, so that's hilarious because I don't know what that means.
Probably the 4th of July cookout.
Yes, that probably was. Okay, so I put recap 5K and then just wrote cookout. So yes, that's definitely it. So Marissa was in Ohio, Marissa and Kyle, and then also Natalie and Kaden and their new baby Murphy. And we all got together, of course, for our annual little stuff. Like every summer, I feel like we're always together at some point. So this year it was a 5K organized by Marissa. We all did our 4th of July 5K. It was my first official 5K ever.
I feel like everybody hated me for it, but that's okay.
No, it was good. I feel like everyone hated the vibe, but then everyone felt good. Like at least me, it felt good to like have something done, like accomplished that early in the morning on the 4th of July. And then it was like, oh my God, we can just like put our jean shorts on, go to the cookout and be chill all day. It was so nice. And I was like, oh, now I don't feel lazy because I did something today.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I might talk Kyle into doing a turkey trot, but this year we're spending Thanksgiving like just the two of us and then my parents, and I don't think my parents would love to go to DC that early.
Do a turkey trot in the morning?
Yeah, on Thanksgiving.
I know.
We'll do it outside of DC so we don't have to go into the city.
there you go. Vernita was saying, she was like, should we do quarterly 5Ks? And I was like, yes, but no. I'm like, I don't want to, but we should, because it will definitely keep us running and keep us active. So we'll see what happens. I was talking to everyone too at the race. I was talking about the 9/11 stair climb. I kind of want to do that, which I feel like will be just as physically challenging for me, for sure. It's a lot of stairs. But yeah, the 5K was really good. I finished the 5K in 37 minutes and 14 seconds. I was looking at the stats on the app, and I was looking for where everybody ranked and placed, and I could not find you anywhere. First of all, you guys, Marissa's name was spelled wrong on the app, but that isn't why. Not only did Kyle spell your name wrong, he put you as a male.
Oh my gosh.
You ranked in the male category.
I'm never letting a man do anything for me ever again. What is wrong with him?
What the heck? So literally you and Kyle were both in the male category right next to each other as placed. Because I was like, why is Marissa not here? I read all the names. That's why. You were literally in the men's category. I was like, what the heck?
Well, I was 17th place out of 27.
Yes, you did. You guys did really good. Were you in front of him or behind him? Or were you both 17?
I don't know. I only have my own stats because I'm not looking up his, because apparently I'm a man and I don't know. He doesn't know how to spell my name.
And Kyle's behind on the podcast, so maybe he'll never even hear this.
Yeah, probably not. I finished in apparently 33 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yes, go off.
I thought it was longer than that, but I guess I didn't stop my watch at the right time.
Yeah, I liked having the official time on here because I feel like my watch is almost never very accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys who won between Marissa and Kyle.
Oh, me. His says 18.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yes, go. That's hilarious. Get it?
That's
Anyways,
so funny.
That was a 5K. It was fun. Everyone had fun. And you can check out our Instagram at We Run on Coffee for the pics, because I will be posting them. They were really cute. I was so proud of us. Everybody got pictures this time, like good, cute pictures. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And then we had the cookout, of course, like I just said, at Aunt Diane's, a.k.a. Marissa's mother-in-law. Oh my God, wait, we never say mother-in-law. That's really funny. So yeah, we had our cookout over there with the whole fam. Everybody was there. It was super fun. And yeah. Aunt Diane said we should give a shout out to her work friends. But I didn't tell her the tease that we already did. She just hasn't gotten there yet. So hi, Aunt Diane. If you've made it to this episode at this point, we know you're behind, but you'll get here eventually. And you'll know. You'll know. But shout out to them anyways, because it's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 more, you guys. Going strong. Holiday weekend. I don't feel like I need to recap that. Whatever. Who cares? Okay. Julie's birthday dinner. So I told you guys we had AJ's birthday dinner. We kind of did the same thing for Julie's birthday dinner. We invited over Oma and the kids, and we did steaks on the grill again because it's been our go-to. It's just so good. It like cannot be beat. But for Julie's dinner, I asked if she wanted me to make a cake or like what kind of cake she would want. And she was like, honestly, I don't even want a cake. It's not preferred. I'd rather have ice cream. And we were like, oh.
Smart.
So Oma made a bunch of homemade ice creams, and then I picked up a bunch of dairy-free ice creams, and we had like a Sunday bar, and I went all out. I got cones, I got toppings, cherries, chocolate syrups, like everything you can think of, chocolate chips, sprinkles, everything you can think of, and I just put it all out on the table, and we just had a big ice cream bar, and I was like, wait, this is so underrated. Like it was so much fun. So highly recommend just like a impromptu summer ice cream bar. Yeah, it was really fun. And one other thing that happened on the holiday weekend, I guess, that I did want to talk about. Or no, yeah. The holiday weekend was long, damn. We got hot pot for the first time, and it was actually so much fun. I was so like nervous to go because I was like, I don't really know how to eat hot pot. Like you have to cook the stuff. I was just like, I don't know how it works. And so that gives me anxiety. But we go, and we had like 8 people. So they put us in a private room in this big table. And everyone at this place, at least, had their own hot pot. Like you didn't share and dip in the middle of the table. Like you had your own personal hot pot in front of you. And so you just pay for the combo. So I think I got like the flank steak and ramen combo. So they bring you like raw steak and raw ramen. And it was $18.99, I think, for like my own stuff. And then you get unlimited topping bar. So they bring you the steak and the noodles and a little pot of broth. I said juice. Broth. I got the spicy broth, and I got the spicy steak. And then you go up to the bar, and you can go up to the bar however many times you want. It's like a buffet, and it has like everything: lettuce, bok choy, carrots, potatoes, random like lotus, whatever it's called, lotus chip vegetable thing, radishes, fish balls, shrimp balls. Like Dominic thought shrimp ball meant the literal testicles of the shrimp, and we were like, no, Dominic, it's just like shrimp in a ball form. So actually that's just like cracks me up. But anyway,
like,
they had a whole literally, that's what he said. He was like, I didn't get any, that's disgusting. And we were like, Dominic, it's just in the shape of a ball, bro. They had tofu on there, pot stickers, all of that was just like, you could go up however many times you want. But the catch is, which I think is hilarious, is you can't leave leftovers at the table or they'll charge you for it. I was like, oh shit. So it's literally like warnings everywhere. And so you have your meat and your noodles. And then if you go up to the buffet, like, eat it, because if you leave too much left over, they will weigh it and charge you by the pound. I was
That's
shocked.
Insane.
I know. Other than that, though, like we all were just like, okay, let's take it, eat it, and then we'll go back if we need more, obviously. But I thought that was insane. I was like, I have never heard this, but that's hilarious.
That's a really smart idea, though.
No, it is. It's so smart, because I'm sure they don't have waste, because no one wants to get charged $7 a pound for their leftovers. And you can't take anything to go, which is a downside because it's so freaking good. But it's a fun experience. I feel like for $18.99, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of down for that, because we ate oh my God, we ate so much food. It includes dessert too. There's like a dessert bar. You can go up and get whatever you want. So I would highly recommend. It's called Mala Hot Pot, the one we went to. And I really liked that we all had our like own personal hot pots, because the ones I've seen before is like a big one in the middle, which is also fine. But I just liked it because everybody got to choose their own broth. Like I got a spicy broth. I think Lauren got like a what is that called? That miso soup. Everyone just got something different, which was really nice. So anyways, hot pot, highly recommend.
I've never been to hot pot, so
it's so fun. I recommend it. I don't know. It was so easy. Also, you just go in, you sit at your own personal little hot pot thing, and then you scan the QR and order on your phone. No one ever is like a server, really. I mean, they bring it to you, but like no one ever comes up. You just like get to do it at your own leisure, and then the robot comes and brings the plates, so you can just take them off the robot. It was so cool. I honestly loved it. I want to go back.
This?
I know. It was so good. So yeah. Oh, and they have a sauce bar with all kinds of sauces,
Love sauce.
Which is like Angelo's heaven. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, hot pot. Anyways, no, I have to breathe. Last catch up, then I have updates. Okay, so today, like I said, we woke up at 9 a.m. and today was Angelo's July date, even though I feel like we just had our June one. Today was the July date, so we drove to Deer Creek State Park in Mount Sterling, I think, Ohio. So it's like 45 minutes south of Columbus, and we did a bunch of hiking, which we had already postponed this once. And I was like, oh, should we postpone because it's going to be 90 degrees? And Angela's like, I don't know. I think it's going to be fine. I was like, okay. So we went anyways, and it was super hot, but it was still fun. We did like a almost 5 mile hike. I think it was not 5 miles, probably like 4.75, something like that. But oh my God, I was dying. It was like, they have a campground and they have a lodge where you can go stay, like a bougie lodge with like a big pool. I don't know. It's really cool. It's like in Ohio, at least I've seen a few of these where state parks will have these big like resort lodges, which I never knew was a thing before, but it was really nice. And that's all I have to say about it. It was fun. And then actually my mom, this was so weird. My mom called me one day and she's like, me and my cousin Pam are going on a girls trip. And I was like, okay, when? She's like, tomorrow. I was like, oh shoot. Okay. And so she was telling me that they were going to Deer Creek State Park. I was like, what? We're going to Deer Creek State Park, but like a few days after you guys. So she went. And she got there like on a Monday, and they were supposed to leave on Thursday. They got there on the Monday, and at 2 p.m., their AC went out. And it wasn't just theirs, because they went to tell the people, and the people were like, no, the whole building's AC is out.
Oh, no.
This is the day that it was like, I don't know, 90-something out. So it had gotten up to 82 degrees in their room. And my mom said, we were sitting there with fans on us, with the lights off, with the door open, just sitting by the door playing cards in the dark. Just like trying to ignore how hot it was. So from 2 till 11 p.m., that's how hot it was. And at 11, they were finally like, we're leaving. So they did get a full refund. And then they drove all the way back to Columbus and stayed in Columbus for their like girls trip or whatever. But I was like, that's literally crazy. She said, I felt so bad because there were 2 maintenance guys for the whole place, like a big, like think of a hotel. And they had to go in every single room and fix every unit individually. And she was like, they were drenched in sweat. She was like, I felt horrible. Yeah. So that was crazy. But they ended up going out to dinner that night and found like a really good restaurant, very random, called Hammer Time Pub in Mount Sterling, Ohio. So small town. But they said it was amazing. So Angela and I went there for lunch today, and It was amazing.
Oh,
it was
yay.
so good. Like, best onion rings probably I've ever had in my life. And then I had like a barbecue bacon burger, and it was just so big and so good. I was like, this is the best. So it was worth the work of the hike to get that lunch.
Aw.
But it was crazy.
Fun fact, I didn't grow up with AC. I didn't have AC from the time that I was like 6 until my grandma moved in with us when I was like 16.
So this is funny because I told Angela when we were driving home, I said, I can't wait to get, because my car doesn't have AC either. So I was driving home and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home and have AC. And I was like, oh, it's so nice not being super poor anymore because my house didn't have central air. So my mom would get a window AC thing, but it was like we'd only do a couple rooms. I don't know if you guys ever did the window thing, but we did
owned one ever.
That's so sad. The window thing was ideal, but it was like your bedroom only. And then it's like the living room was not AC and it was like horrible. But yeah, even a taste of that life is not my fave.
It was way better
having
being
AC.
outside when it was so hot rather than inside. We would
Like
always have our windows
inside,
open, and it was just horrible.
Oh, that is horrible. Yeah, so that's the drama. But I have 3 random life updates for you guys.
Okay.
First of all, this one is very random. This is a period recommendation. So we're switching gears. But I thought I would share with everyone because I've made a period discovery. Okay. I tried period underwear and I'm obsessed. Okay. I'd never tried period underwear before, but I was like, okay, have you seen this study? Oh, we can't get into this today. It's going to be too long. But have you seen this study that they've done on tampons recently that shows that there's like lead in tampons or whatever? I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Whatever. Anyways, I used to just be a pads and tampons girl. Like, I'll expose myself. I don't care. But recently I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about tampons right now. I don't know if I want to switch it up. And I was like, I've heard good things about period underwear, but I never want to spend the money. And then we went to Walmart. I was like, let's just see. And it was only $8, which I feel like is pretty standard underwear price. Yeah. So I got it. And then the next day I went back and bought 3 more pairs. And now I just have a slew of period underwear. And I was like, this is insane because, okay, this is really going to get TMI. So I'm warning you, if you're listening to this, if you don't want to hear, leave. So if I wear underwear with a pad, I feel like, and I don't know if this is just me, but the pad kind of gives me like a little rash on the sides of my leg, like the crease of my, down there by my leg. And that's what I like about the period underwear is that they don't, and they're 10 times beyond comfortable than a pad. I don't even like pads to begin with, but it's just like what it is. So anyways, all that to say, I recommend period underwear, and I got the brand DINKs. And I'm recommending them to you guys if anyone's like
maybe I'll try it out.
Period underwear curious. Give it a try. Yeah. 1 pair is $8, like not that big of a loss. And then you just wash it. I don't know. At first I felt kind of gross about it, but I was like, why is it any more gross than wearing a pad? It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. And it's 10 times more comfortable. So
do you wash them on their own? That's probably a silly question.
Not a silly question. At first I did because I was having to wash them more than I was having to do laundry. It was kind of annoying. So I was having to just wash the period underwear. But no, I just wash them with everything else. It says you can, but this is kind of gross. But it sounds kind of gross, but I just let it dry out first. You know, so like after I wear it, I just set it on the washing machine and I leave it there. And then next time I do laundry, I just throw it in first. Yeah. And then put everything else in. It's fine. Okay. And they get fully clean. I don't know how it works, but on the side of the box, it's like just wash it like normal. And I air dry them because I don't know if you're supposed to dry it or not, but I don't want to mess up the pad in it. But I don't know. Yeah, like highly recommend
the absorbent material or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want it to like dissolve and break apart. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to put it in the dryer. I'm sure you could though. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was a random update. I was like, I just need the world to know. You should try period underwear.
Maybe I'll try
So
it.
Random. I'm going to post that in the story as an if you know, you know. And people will be like, what the fuck is
like,
this?
What is this episode about again?
I know. Okay, and then I have 2 more. So, one is, hello, I'm in the 10K steps a day club. Me and Angela have made this new life goal. It's a very small one, but we're like, let's get 10K steps a day because we don't. And mine's way worse than his, I feel like. I will get like 1,000 or 2,000 in a day, which is still, I think, pretty good. Because the other day, Angela came home from work. He's like, I have 3,500. How many do you have? And I said, 609. Because I was literally working. It was like 8 to 4, working all day. I just sat here on my computer because I'm very sedentary during the day. So I was like, that's embarrassing. So we've committed to the 10K steps a day, which means we've been walking like a lot. It's like 3 miles at least. And we've been deliberate to like go to a trail, walk a good hike, make sure we hit 10K, and then we'll go home. And it's been nice because we get outside way more. I'm turning brown. I'm getting crispy. And then I'm getting crispy. And then my last update. Okay,
she's gonna get overcooked here soon.
I might. I got to be careful. I don't want to turn into leathery. You know,
crispy's gonna be well done.
Leather's another. Anyways, so my last one is, okay, so I think I shared on the podcast that this year's my first year having seasonal allergies, period, in my life. And it's been rough. And I finally pinpointed what I'm allergic to in the season. So that's been kind of cool because I got allergies at the beginning of summer, and I was like looking on the weather.com app because that's what I use. And it was like, it had grass pollen, tree pollen, and ragweed pollen. And it said they're all high. And it just kept saying they're all high at the same time. However, my allergies were so bad the other day that I started counting my sneezes because I was just like, oh, it'll be funsies. Like, I hope I can count. I lost count at 22 sneezes in the day. I was like, I can't count anymore. I had, when people sneeze like 2 in a row, my streak was 6 in a row. I was like, this is insane. I couldn't breathe through my nose. And so I went on the weather app. I'm like, let's just see. It says no tree pollen, no ragweed pollen in the air, only grass pollen. So I was like, awesome. So then the next 5 days, I was having allergies every day, and every day it was only grass pollen. So now I know. It's just so random, but I'm like, now I know. So if anyone out there is experiencing this, check your weather app and see if you can figure out which pollen it is, because it's kind of good to know. And then I got really sad because I looked up when each kind of pollen is present. I found a really nice chart. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I'll post it on the Instagram too if anyone wants to see. But June and July is the grass pollen season. I'm like, really? You have to take my favorite season and give me an allergy? So that was annoying. But yeah, that's
be
all.
very aware that if you go outside while people are mowing grass, you are going to sneeze a lot.
Actually, that's what did it the other day, or that's how I knew. And how my worst day was because it was the remnants of the hurricane hitting Ohio, and it was so windy, it could have blown me over. It was so windy. And I was like, oh, this makes sense because it's literally blowing it everywhere. And it was horrible. So yeah, it's interesting to know. Grass pollen. Okay. Writing this down, guys, so I can show you the chart. That's it. I'm finally caught up. Now what's funny is that for the next episode I have no looking forward to, so it's gonna be fun.
But I don't even know if I have any, so this might be a very not very chit-chatty episode at the beginning.
We love that. Anyways, we're 30 minutes in, so it's time to get into the meat of this episode. And I hope it doesn't take that long, but I've made a lot of notes, not going to lie. So we're going to talk about marketing today, you guys. Hold on, I have to drink my lemonade. I'm dying.
She's over here with her wine glass full of lemonade. She's so bougie.
It's so full. It's funny because if it were wine, it'd be like, oh my God, she's unwell.
It kind of looks like wine, though, just because of the color of lemonade.
Love that. It's Bojangles lemonade, which is absolutely fire. So Bernita just texted our family group, and she finally made it to the beach. She's been driving since 2 a.m. It's 6:30 and she just made it. I was like, girl, that is a life I do not lead anymore. I was like, I don't know if I could do that these days.
No, I'm old. I couldn't.
Me either. But anyways, we're going to talk about marketing today. So welcome to the meat of the episode at 32 minutes, you guys. I just thought this would be fun. I feel like we both kind of talk about our jobs sometimes. But you guys also are probably just like, okay, she does marketing. Cool. That's it. So I thought it'd be fun. We're going to do a deep dive on just marketing basics, just because I thought it'd be fun. And then also for the reason that coming up, not next month, but in September, National Forensic Science Week is happening, and we're going to have a fun episode of kind of Marissa's, whatever Marissa picks, honestly, about National Forensic Science Week. But I was like, oh, okay, we could throw in a marketing episode, balance it out. You guys can get
that's
two
what
perspectives.
I was looking at the schedule today, and my job is so hard to talk about because I deal with sensitive information. I can't talk about all of it, but I'm trying to think how I can do something like what you're doing today of just the basics.
Yeah, this is going to be very much like if you were to take a marketing class in college. This is some day one stuff. So it's not anything revolutionary, I guess. But I was like, this is helpful because it is applicable to my job. But also if you are listening to this episode and you own a small business or you want to start a small business, I think this is stuff that could really help you because marketing is important to a business. So it's just kind of general information, if you will. So welcome to class.
Yeah,
so excited.
I'm excited because I feel like I'm going to learn about all the things that you've been telling me to do for the podcast.
Yes, we do talk about SEO, which is something I said last week. Marissa was like, wait, what does that mean? I was like, oh, my bad. So we're going to dive in. We're going to start. If you guys listened to the lactose intolerance episode and you liked the format, which I hope you did, this is going to be the same format. Basically, we're going to talk about what is marketing and its purpose. And then we'll talk about a couple types of marketing and then a couple marketing frameworks that are the top ones that are most popular, like most well known, I guess. And that's it. So let's do it. So I have a lot of resources. Let's go, baby. I have a lot of resources, but one that we're going to start with is HubSpot. So this is from a blog on HubSpot.com. I'm a fan of HubSpot. My company is a client of HubSpot, so we love. Not sponsored, don't worry. We don't have ads anymore, so we're not sponsored. But we're going to talk about what is marketing. So directly from HubSpot, this is a quote. It says, marketing refers to any actions a company takes to attract an audience to the company's product or services through high quality messaging. And I don't really actually think it needs to be high quality. It's just
messaging in general.
Yeah, either way, whether it's good or bad marketing, it's marketing. Marketing aims to deliver standalone value for prospects and consumers through content with the long-term goal of demonstrating product value, strengthening brand loyalty, and ultimately increasing sales. It's funny because when you're in marketing school and you're about to graduate, it's like, oh, what are you going to do for your job? Are you going to go into sales or marketing? And it's just funny because it's like, they're not the same, but they are. So like people in marketing have usually a strong opinion. So for me, I'm like really creative. You guys know I like graphic design, that kind of thing. So I was like, I will not go into sales. Like I do not want to go do sales. However, my job is directly like our success is measured by whether or not we sell more and do better. So just an interesting point.
So interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the baseline of what marketing is. But also from the same HubSpot vlog, it kind of talks about vlog. I'm so YouTuber. Vlog. It's not a vlog.
I didn't even
vlog.
Hear the slip up. I'm just sitting here listening
so
and I'm like, I'm staring off into space because oftentimes that's what I do when I'm like trying to like solidify information. So I'm like hearing her say these like research points and she says vlog and I didn't even notice.
Literally, I'm too YouTuber. Anyways, from the actual blog, from the HubSpot blog, marketing is the process of getting people interested in your company's product or service. So it happens through market research, analysis, and understanding your ideal customer's interests. And marketing pertains to all aspects of business, including product development, distribution methods, sales, and advertising. So I just want to put that in there too, because it's just kind of even more rudimentary. It's just like marketing is getting people interested in your company.
To know your audience.
Yes, it's knowing your audience is a big piece of it. So we're going to talk about a few different types of marketing. Actually, I'm wondering if I should say these after I talk about the frameworks.
Your guess is as good as, well, your guess is way better than mine, actually.
I'm giving it like a game time decision. Let's talk about the types of marketing first. So
okay.
I wrote this as some, but not all types of marketing. So this is really a good point that I want to get into, because if you guys don't know, as you're listening, my job, like my day job, if you will, is a marketing coordinator, which is just as broad as it sounds. I do a lot of different kinds of marketing, and that's why I'm called that. However, my coworker is called an email marketing manager. So she just literally does email and that's it, which is a type of marketing we're going to do. I also have a coworker who's called an acquisitions marketing manager, and he does all search engine marketing or SEO, which we're going to talk about. And then like I said, I lie somewhere in the middle. And so I do social media. I'm about to actually, fun news, you guys, I'm going to take over the blog at my work. So I'm going to be doing blog stuff. So that's fun. But yeah, let's talk about a couple different types of marketing. So again, this is exact quotes from HubSpot, but I'm going to paraphrase. First, they put internet marketing, which I think is a very funny word to say.
Term.
Yeah. And also, like, who says internet anymore? Or like www. World Wide Web. Like,
the World
no one's saying that
Wide
anymore.
Web, world of marketing.
But the way that they define this, and I'll say it just because it's here, but it's like kind of silly. But they said internet marketing inspired by an Excedrin product campaign that took place online, which is very random. The very idea of having a presence on the internet for business reasons at all is a type of marketing and in and of itself. So I don't know. I should have read that before I actually told you guys, because I feel like that's a silly one, but we're just going to move on. So first we're going to talk about SEO, which is search engine optimization. This is something me and Marissa were just talking about. So I'll explain their definition, or I'll say their definition, and I'll give you guys an example. So it's abbreviated SEO, and this is the process of optimizing content on a website so that it appears in search engine results, and it's used by marketers to attract people who perform searches that imply they're interested in learning about a particular industry. So that literally just sounds like word salad, yummy, yummy. That is like okay, cool. You just told me nothing. So this is how I would explain it. I'm trying to think of a real life way. So I'm just going to use my work as a real example. So my job is called, or my work, the company I work for is called Lawline. And we sell CLE, which is continuing legal education, videos. So SEO is search engine optimization, is us putting in a lot of work to make sure that our website can be found. So for example, if someone searches Lawline, cool, they'll find us because we're called Lawline. However, if someone searches New York CLE, nothing to do with us. They just search, I need CLE. Oh my gosh, my deadline's coming up. What do I do? They just type in New York CLE. We want to be first because we want their business and we want to be above our competitors on Google when they search that. So SEO is what we're doing. So I don't know a lot about it because this isn't my personal job, but Mike, shout out Mike, my coworker. I feel like I'm exposing my coworkers, but shout out Mike. What he does is his full-time job is literally watching those searches. It's seeing like how many people are searching New York CLE. Is that a market that we can like, should we put our money there and try to get those terms so that people who search New York CLE come to us and not someone else? And so there's lots of different things you can do. Like, for example, on a website, you might put something in your code that helps you get ranked higher in Google, et cetera, et cetera. I can't go on because we will get stuck on SEO all day. But basically what you're doing when you're talking about SEO is just making your website or your podcast or your business more searchable.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said getting those words. What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah. So getting those words. Yeah. Okay. So there is this whole world of bidding on keywords. So basically, this is going to be so hard to explain because I don't even do it. So I feel like I'm not refreshed in it. I haven't done it since school. But there is this thing called Google AdWords. I don't know if it's still called Google AdWords. It might be called something new now. And it is like common search terms. So when you go onto Google and you start typing, you start typing like best, it'll start filling it in for you. And it'll have like best restaurant near me. And it has all those suggestions. So companies like us or whatever, or individuals can actually bid on keywords. So say there's Lawline and say there's Lawline's competitor. Lawline can bid on New York CLE as a keyword and Lawline's competitor can bid on it. And whoever's bidding higher, I believe, will show up higher when someone searches New York CLE or whatever. So excuse my very brief knowledge of this, listeners. Like if anyone out there is like, what the heck? She doesn't do SEO. No, I don't. But that's kind of the idea is like, there's all these keywords and things that people are searching. And the ones that are searched more or in more demand are more expensive to bid on. And so you can bid on them to try to get yourself higher up on Google or Bing or whatever engine. I mean, it's Google.
That's absolutely everyone uses
insane. Google. Yeah. So when you search something, so actually if you want to do an experiment right now, as you guys are listening, Marissa can do it. If you just go on Google and you search, give me something random. We'll search coffee shop.
Okay.
I'm going to do it too. When you search it on Google and you hit enter, you're going to see places at the top. But if you scroll down to like the actual web searches, you'll probably see that, oh, actually, this is a horrible example. It didn't work. But you'll usually see a couple at the top will say sponsored. So let me try a different one. I'll give you guys a word.
I got Yelp first.
Yeah, usually it will say, and I don't know why this is happening. Hold on, let me make it big. I should have come with prepared examples, but you can do something like, I'm trying to think of like a popular clothing item right now that would be by multiple brands. Okay. We're going to do... on. Everyone gets to do this in real time with us. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so I searched cute blue bathing suit.
Oh, I have to be specific.
It might work for you. I don't know, but this worked for me. I searched cute blue bathing suit, and when it comes up, you can see at the top it literally says sponsored. And sometimes there's a little block that's like Amazon blue women's bikinis, and then under that it says Burr Look blue swimsuits, and under that it says Pretty Little Thing USA swimsuits. And so each listing, those are all different listings, and if it says sponsored next to it, it means that they paid to be there. It means that they put money to be there. So either they paid money up front and said we want to be at the top, or the other type of way that they could have done it is they say, for whoever clicks on our ad, you put it at the top. Google, please put it at the top. And for whoever clicks on it, we'll pay you 46 cents.
Oh.
So when I click on it, they owe Google 46 cents because they got a lead. And that's called pay per click advertising. And so every time someone clicks on it, they have to pay per click. So that's just like another,
I'm about to never click on sponsored posts again.
Yeah, so that's a thing that I've done before is like sometimes I'm like, oh, I know I'm trying to get to Lululemon. I just Google it because that's the fastest way for me. And then I see at the top, it's like sponsored. I'm like, I'm not going to make them pay for it today. I'll just keep going down until I get to the regular listing.
That's so funny.
This is like a random funny thing. But yeah, that's a little bit about SEO. I don't know. It's hard to explain because I don't do it, but I kind of get it.
Well, you knew way more than I did, so.
I had to do a little SEO for work as a little project. It was like a test, and then I ended up telling my boss, I was like, I don't get it, I don't like it, and I don't want to learn it. And she was like, honestly, sounds good. I'll give it back to Mike. And I was like, okay, sorry, Mike. So that's why I'm actually going to take over the blog because it's kind of more my speed. So yeah, that's one type of marketing is SEO, and we could do a whole episode on it. Maybe we will someday. You guys let us know if you're interested. Another type of marketing, like I said, is blog marketing. So HubSpot says blogs are no longer exclusive to the individual writer. Brands now publish blogs to write about their industry and nurture the interest of potential customers who browse the internet for information. That's exactly like I was saying at the beginning of this episode. I did not plan this, but I used a HubSpot blog to help write this episode, and that's where this stuff's coming from.
That's
so
funny.
Blogs are really cool because there's something that we call like evergreen content, at least when you write about evergreen content. So for example, I'm just going to use Lawline because that's like the most applicable thing to me. At Lawline, I always talk about deadlines for CLE. So lawyers have to meet their requirements by a deadline, just like anyone else in a school setting or whatever. So sometimes we post a blog post that's like, hey, lawyers, we know there's a deadline at July 31st, 2024. Make sure you get your stuff done. That is not evergreen because it's talking specifically about July 31st, 2024. However, we might have an article, like for example, we did last year, where it was just about attorney well-being in big law or whatever. And it's like practices that you can put into place so that you can take care of yourself and your mind as an attorney who's really busy and doesn't sleep enough and all that stuff. That is what we would call evergreen content because that's pretty much always applicable. And when someone goes on Google and was like, best practices for whatever, or like, I'm a lawyer and I'm feeling, you don't type that into Google, I'm a lawyer and I'm feeling sad, but like you type into Google, like self-care practices for lawyers. And then our blog has the opportunity to come up at the top of the page. That gets someone on our website. They say, oh, this is cool. Who's Lawline? They click on Lawline, they're on our page, and now we're trying to convert them and make a sale. So it's just like a really long way to get them into the website. So that's how blog marketing works. Social media marketing, literally the exact same thing, but for social media. So I'm like making content for social media. If you want to check it out, follow Lawline. We could use some followers. I wouldn't mind. Our main one at my job is LinkedIn, but we're also on Instagram and all the platforms or whatever. But this works in the same way of blog marketing as just as soon as someone sees our post, our goal is for them to go to our website. So we want them to see the post, and usually I'm posting about courses. So I'm like, oh, there's a course this week. This is the topic. These are the presenters. They're highly accredited lawyers or whatever. Like these are really awesome attorneys teaching this course. Come check it out. And the goal is to get them to come to our website and sign up. So that's social. Print marketing. This would be like if you get a magazine in the mail. That is just a form of print marketing. So if you remember back in the day when we used to get catalogs, like at Christmas time, some people still do it. You get a catalog and then, you're a kid and you circle everything you want in a Sharpie marker and then you give it to your mom and you're like, this is what I want for Christmas. That's a perfect example of print marketing because the whole
Gen
goal is
Alpha people listen to this are quaking
like,
in their boots.
Literally, that's how we used to have our Christmas wish list. And then the goal is like that your mom goes to Walmart and buys that stuff. And that's the whole point of print marketing. The whole point of marketing is get you to make the sale, right? But that's how print does it. And then the next one that it has is, this is called search engine marketing. And we already went over this, so I won't get too crazy, but it just says this is a different type than SEO. Businesses can pay the search engine to place links on pages of its indexes, which is a very weird way to say that, to get high exposure to their audience, like pay-per-click or whatever. This is buying keywords, like I just said. So we're going to skip because that's a whole thing. And then the last one it has is video marketing. So it says, while there were once just commercials, which is a perfect example of video marketing, like Super Bowl commercials. We all know that everyone tunes in the Super Bowl to watch the commercials. Not everyone, but a lot of people tune in just for the commercials. It's a good form of marketing. It's why those slots are really expensive. But marketers also now put money into creating and publishing videos on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever, that educate people about their product or entertain people and pull them in and try to get that sale. So
another question.
That is all the types. Go ahead.
So as somebody that like consumes a lot of YouTube, like you, would you say that creators on YouTube that are making those short clip sort of like advertisements for their sponsors are doing video marketing for the company then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say yes, for sure. And that's the whole, I didn't even get into influencer marketing in this, but I definitely should, because that's like a whole beast of its own. But yeah, influencer marketing is a big like other category of marketing, which is companies paying influencers to talk about their brand. We did that. Actually, we had an influencer like for a little bit of time that made videos for his own page and videos that we posted on our company page. And it adds, when you do both, when we add it to our company page and he has it on his own, it also creates a synergy, which synergy is like a big word that we're using in marketing. It's kind of funny, but it creates a synergy of like, oh, Julian was his name. He's a really cool lawyer. So check him out if you want. But Julian made a video on his TikTok and he posted it on his page. And he's like, oh my gosh, I love getting my CLE with Lawline because it's the easiest way to do it or whatever he says. And then his followers see that and they're like, I wonder what Lawline is. They click over to Lawline. And they see his face on our page too. It's like, oh, cool. Like there's a connection there and it creates this like synergetic thing. But now I'm getting on a tangent that doesn't answer your question. But short answer is yes, that is 100% video marketing. And there's also something called, what are they calling this? I'm like, I feel a little bit old sometimes on the social media front, which is really funny because I'm so in it. But there is a new term that's called UGC. Hold on. I want to give you guys like a full definition instead of just like what I think it is. But this is called UGC, which is user generated content. And it's original brand specific content created by social media users and published on social media or other channels. And that can come like in any form. So the first thing that I think of, and I don't know if it's a perfect example of UGC, but if anyone saw the video of the person whose Stanley Cup didn't catch fire in their car, do you remember this? Like the whole car burned down and the Stanley Cup was still in there. And then the company CEO of Stanley, whatever, that makes the water bottles, he was like, that is absolutely insane. Like, what a testament to our product. We're going to buy you a new car since your car burned down. And he was like, don't get excited. We'll never do this again. This is a one and done. But like, we are so like shocked at like how our product lasted or whatever, and we want to help you out. We're going to buy you a car. That's a perfect example of user generated content, I feel like, because the company didn't pay the person whose car burned down to post that. They just posted that because they were like, holy shit, my Stanley Cup's still intact and my whole car's gone. And that literally, that was like a moment in media. Other people who have seen this video, you guys know, like that was a moment in media. That was like a big thing. It was on the news. It was on social media. It was on TikTok. It was everywhere. And that generated so much buzz for Stanley that's literally beyond money, apparently, because they bought them a new car. And that was worth it for Stanley to do that because so many people were talking about Stanley. So I feel like that's also a good example of like, just, I don't know how that works with social media. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
And also, you guys, spoiler, there will be another marketing episode coming. I put something on the docket. We're going to do like a fun marketing episode talking about things like that are very, I don't want to say the words because I don't want to give too much away, you guys, but there's certain stories about like marketing stories that are really, really shocking. And it's like, whoa, I never would have thought of that. Or I can't believe that's even marketing. Like that's a art project. So we're going to talk about fun stories.
I'm not even going to know any of them. I'm telling you right now.
Which is honestly the most fun because I love to like get a little shock factor for people. So it'd be cool.
I'm thinking of my Forensic Science Week episode now, and I think that I'm just going to do a rundown of like what my company does. So
I think you should because I don't know anything about that, and I feel like it's just so cool.
So hard because I obviously do science stuff, right? And one of my classes in college was to learn how to talk to lay people about what I do. That was an entire class that I had to do.
Like that.
And I'm going to have to draw all of that, like analogies and stuff, because when you go to court, you're talking to lay people. You're not talking to your peers when you're an expert witness. So you have to go and you have to like quote unquote dumb it down. Like they tell you to act like you're talking to a fifth grader. So I'm going to have to come to you and talk like I'm talking to a fifth grader.
Honestly, I'm so excited. That's going to be so fun. But I feel like it's cool because also if you guys are listening to this and you're like, maybe you're not happy in your career, maybe you're younger and you haven't started your career, I feel like this is hopefully going to give you guys a good example of what our jobs are. Because before I went into marketing, I had no clue what marketing was. I was just like, oh, I guess business sounds cool. I'll pick it. And that was it. So I feel like it's also just nice because it's like maybe someone wants to go into forensics and they don't even know it yet.
Exactly.
That's like so iconic. I love that. Anyways, yeah. So that's all different types of marketing. It's not all of them, but that is a lot of them. And then I only have 2 more things left. I'm going to try to talk through them
Talk to them.
I'm going to talk to them. I love you guys. I'm going to try to talk through them pretty quickly because we don't have a lot of time. But these are 2 marketing frameworks that I wanted to throw in because they're things that I talk about my job to this day. I've been out of college for 4 years. It's like you learn this in college and you're like, oh, cool. Sounds cool. Like there's an acronym or whatever. But these are ones that I use all the time. And I feel like they're really applicable to actual everyday practice of marketing. So we're going to talk about them. The first one is called the 4 Ps of marketing, which I feel like is so funny considering that we have our own little number letters things. I don't even remember what they are, but there's like, I think it was Marissa's 3 Ps or something like that. I don't know. So 4 Ps of marketing, also called the marketing mix. From HubSpot, again, I'm going to do a little quote. In the 1960s, E. Jerome McCarthy, I hope it's Jerome, not Jeremy, but it ends with an E. E. Jerome McCarthy came up with the 4 Ps of marketing, which are product, price, place, promotion. Essentially, these 4 Ps explain how marketing itself interacts with each stage of a business. So I'm just going to touch on them briefly and explain what they are. So the first P would be product, which is what you're selling. So whether it's a service or whether it's a physical product, it's just what you're selling. And a question that you can kind of ask yourself. I set these all up as if like our listeners are starting a business or if you have a small business, because I think it's very common these days to like have a small business or a side hustle or something like that, or our podcast. And so I'm going to set them up in a way that you guys can get thinking about these too and like use them in your life. So when you think about what you're selling, think about what need or what want does this fulfill. So if you are selling a nail service, you're going to do nails. What need or want does that fulfill? It fulfills people's want to have like a nice set of nails. Cool. That answers what your product is. Or if you're selling like O&M is selling cookies, what need or want does this fulfill? This fulfills the need of wanting like a very high quality looking decorated cookie for an event or for a special occasion or just for fun. So that's what product would be. So then the next P is price, how much you sell it for, your product, how much you sell your product for. So here I just wrote a couple questions to think about. What are your competitors' prices? This is a big thing in marketing, is like looking at your competitors, people that offer the same thing as you or something similar, and then placing yourself. So this can be tricky because if you have a really high quality product, you don't want to devalue yourself, especially when you look at your competitors. If you're like, oh, all my competitors charge $120 for nails, I'm going to charge $60. I'm going to charge half of what they charge. That's cool. That's awesome. But that will make you the low cost provider. And with low cost comes the assumption of low quality. Whether or not it's low quality doesn't matter. People assume that when it's half the price, it might not be as quality as, you know, the expensive one. So that's something to like keep in mind when you place yourself. Same thing for like too expensive. If you go way too high from your competitors, it's like, why is there so expensive? I could get it for $120. Why would I pay $300 for nails? So same kind of thing. You kind of have to get into the right balance of being near your competitors, but not too close, which is a balance. And that's a part of why marketing can be difficult sometimes. And then I also wrote for price, what can your audience afford to pay? And how much is your audience willing to pay? What's the value of your product? Those are really important questions to ask. We really didn't get into it, but just like Marissa said at the beginning, knowing your audience is something that's like really, really important in marketing. And a lot of times we talk about personas. So when you create a persona for your business, you create your ideal customer. So for our podcast, we might create a persona of someone who's 22 years old, they just got out of college, they're in their first job, they live with their partner, and they have X amount of income. And we might say that's who we expect to listen to our podcast because that's who we are. Mm-hmm. And we have to ask ourselves, what can they afford to pay for merch? Say we run a coffee merch. Yeah. What can they afford? And then how much are they willing to pay? Like, do they love us enough to spend $50 on a sweatshirt? Or can we only go at $20? Whatever.
It feels so arbitrary. But yeah. I mean, if you hire people into your company to do this that are the target audience, that's the only way I think that you can figure out what that arbitrary value is.
It's hard because there's a lot of factors, I guess is the word. But a lot of this, I will say, is like, which also we can't get everything. I'm like, oh, we can't get into that today. But it's like, there's so much to it. It's such a science. I do have a science degree, fun fact. The science of business administration, marketing. But there really is a science to it. And there is so much consumer research that goes on. That wasn't a plan of mine, but I could do a whole marketing episode on consumer research, which sounds boring, but it's really fun stuff that we learned in college. Like when people go into the grocery store, this is their pattern. And it'll literally have a drawing. It'll show a zigzag or whatever.
Like graphic of that.
Or heat maps. When you read a web page, you either read it in an F shape or an L shape. So you'll read the whole left side and then you kind of go across. Or you'll read the top bar, the left side bar, and then the body, which is an F shape. So there's so many things like that are really interesting. And there's so much research out there that can actually get you pretty damn close to what your ideal audience has. You just have to do the research, or you have to find the research and use it, which is really interesting. There's also something on Google that we'll do at the end of this episode. So stay tuned. If you're still here, please stay tuned. That's like a fun little thing. You can see what Google knows about you personally.
Okay.
And how you get marketed to on Google, which is really fun. But anyways, yeah, so that's all price. So we're going to move on to the next P. And after the P's, I'm going to stop. We're not going to talk about the marketing funnel today because we don't have time. But
funnel?
The next
that
P,
sounds so
I know,
scary.
And it's a big one. So the next P after product and price is place. So this is just where you sell your product and where you promote it. So this would be like online, in store, like you have a brick and mortar, whatever, very simple. But it also could mean product placement on a shelf in a store. So you may or may not have noticed this, but this is for sure a marketing thing, and it's kind of psychological. If you go into the store, the brand name like cereal or the brand name peanut butter is likely going to be at an average person's eye level. And then the off brand is going to be near the floor. Because when you're walking down the aisle and you're looking for your cereal, you're going to grab what you see right in front of you. So unless you go out of your way to say, I want the off brand, I want to save a little money, you're not going to see the store brand. It's going to be on the floor. Same kind of thing. So if you ever pay attention to being in a store, it's actually very, very interesting. There's so many of those things where it's like placement is so, so, so important. But it's also really hard to get. Like you have to pay more to have your stuff at eye level in a store. There are places in stores where you have to pay to get like the end caps. Companies are paying to get on the end cap. Like it's not all fun and games for free. Whatever we feel like putting out today. Like I believe that you have to pay for that kind of stuff.
And
I don't know how much, or if it's all stores, or if it's all things. Like maybe some just pick what they want to put on the end cap. And a lot of times it is seasonal. It's like, oh, it's summer, so the s'more stuff like marshmallows and chocolate will be on the end cap. But there are like displays. Like if you ever see in a grocery store, I feel like you've probably seen this, where they have at the end of an aisle like a little cooler and it has those Pillsbury cookies, or it'll have like ice cream bars in it. And they're still in the grocery store and you can buy them with all your other stuff, but it's pulled out of the freezer section and it's in its own little freezer. That's the kind of stuff that companies are paying to have in a store.
I literally never would have thought of that.
It's crazy.
I agree that like when you go into the grocery store, obviously the name brands are at eye level.
Yeah.
But I never would have thought that there's a dollar amount associated with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure that the name brands, just by being name brand, it's like they get there. But for everything else that isn't name brand, I imagine there's some sort of hierarchy to it. And I don't know how it all works, but maybe we should dive into that sometime. I don't know. It's fun. But yeah, so placement, that's another P of marketing. And then the last one is promotion. And this is how you promote your product. So the little questions I wrote to think about is, how will you let people know about your product, right? You create a product. Awesome. I want to sell it. Cool. No one cares until you tell them to care, or you get them to see it and they get excited. So you have to think about, why will people want to buy my product? And also, will you offer a sale or discount to entice people to buy your product? It's very common to price your product one thing and then charge something else. This is so like, if you ever shopped at Aeropostale back in the day, this is what I think of, is going to Aeropostale, going to the clearance section and buying a shirt for like $12 in the clearance. And the tag on it says like $44.95. And you're like, who would ever pay $44.95? And the answer is probably no one. That's on purpose. Like it's just priced to have an anchor, and then you go from there and you mark it down. It's like 20% off today, and then it goes to clearance when no one wants it. So promotion, how will you promote it? Will you do a promotion, or will you do a change on price to cause promotion? That kind of thing. So those are the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, promotion, and placement. And they kind of all work together to get you where you need to go. So that is the marketing mix.
Aww, so cool.
I have literally so many more notes. I can't believe this took forever, but we'll just do another one some other time. It's not important today. But the other marketing basic is called the marketing funnel. And that also, once we get into it, will give everyone like a really good idea of what I do at work, I feel like. Because me and each of my coworkers, I feel like we all work in a different part of the funnel. So I'll just give you guys a brief like thing. There's a marketing funnel, and there's like obviously the top part of the funnel is big, and then it goes really, really small at the bottom. That's how a funnel works. So the top part of the funnel is awareness, just getting someone to know about your brand. And then your hope is to move them down the funnel and get them through to purchase. So the big one is awareness. That's what I do. I work in awareness. Social media is kind of awareness. I'm like, I just want people to know Lawline and to think of our name and think CLE. Oh, I think I saw something about CLE. Maybe it's called Lawline. That's my goal, awareness. And then under that is consideration. That's where they actually consider even using your company. It's like, well, I am unhappy with my current provider because the courses aren't very good anymore. Maybe I would consider changing. Under that would be conversion. That's actually getting them to say, yes, I'm going to change from my current one to Lawline. And then the very bottom of the funnel is loyalty/nurturing. And that's where you want people to be so loyal to your brand that they will stick with you whether your price goes up or down because they love you so much. And then there's what we call loyalists, which are people that will be like, oh my gosh, guys, you have to try Lawline. Like, it's the best ever. And those are the best people. Those are your ambassadors, people that love your brand so much. They try to get everyone they know to get on it, which is literally me and Marissa all the time with everything we love.
I'm a loyalist. Like, oh my gosh, you have to try this.
Get it. Okay, that's so random. Chex Mix loyalist.
I love Chex Mix.
So that's the funnel. And another day we'll get into it because I have like a lot of notes on it. And but that's like a big one that we think about. Like, that's a word we use all the time is like, okay, where are we in the funnel? Because right now our social media is at awareness. It's top of funnel, but we can get it more bottom to funnel if we do like a targeted ad and we spend some money or whatever. So there's different ways you can move throughout it, which is interesting. But yeah, that's marketing, people.
Yay.
Just the basics. I feel like I word vomited, brain dumped, whatever on you guys. So hopefully you're doing all right there. This episode is titled We're DINKs because I was going to get into DINKs. We were going to go into this whole thing and I'm leaving the title because it's clickable. Okay. So I talked about personas. I'll just give you guys a quick DINKs backstory. DINKs being a DINK, which Marissa and I are, fun fact, I'll tell you guys in a minute, but it's not always just like, it's not only a marketing term, but it's really a common term to use in marketing to describe a certain persona, which is exactly what I was telling you guys about when you think about your ideal customer. DINK means dual income, no kids. So that would be a persona or a consumer that has a 2-income household and they don't have kids. So they're not spending as much as someone that has a 2-income household with kids, right? We don't have to spend our money on our kids, so we have a little bit more like fun money. Yeah, disposable income to spend. So some companies will target DINKs a little bit more because they're like, oh, they could spend some money on fun stuff. They don't have kids. And so it's just like another persona. There's also DINKWADs, dual income, no kids with a dog, which is like a very popular one these days because that's a common situation.
It's so funny, and I'm glad that you actually brought this up because I was so confused why you titled the episode this. I was just like, what does this have to do with anything? Yeah, I was gonna get there, but yeah, that is a certain persona in marketing that I feel like a lot of, especially the DINKWADs, there are companies that are really targeting those dual income, no kids with a dog, like even pet companies that are like selling a bougie pet toy or like a really posh leash or whatever, you know, like something that's to a non-pet owner. Personally, I'm like, that seems ridiculous. But for a couple who has a pet that's literally like their kid and they have the money to spend, might want to spend it. So it's just like really interesting to think about. And I also titled it that because I'm like, okay, clickable, of course. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thanks for clicking. Also very popular to talk about on social media right now. I feel like I'm always seeing it's like, we're DINKs, so we do this. We're DINKs, so we do that. And it's just funny. So I was like, I got to tie that in. But someday we'll go more into personas and get more into it. But that's it, I guess. I'm like, I could go all day. But that's it for the marketing. I feel like it's a good baseline. And if I went any more, we'd be going crazy. So we got to leave it there today, you guys. Yeah. What about the Google thing?
The Google thing. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I was like racking my brain. Like, I have to think of this. Okay. Let me think about it just for a second of how to search it. And then I'll tell you guys how to get there.
I'm opening up my Google so that I can be prepared.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're listening to this, you can do this with us. Oh, I have to enable cookies. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to make sure I'm going to the right place before I tell you guys. So everybody go on Google, and we're going to just Google the phrase Google Ads Profile, ADS, Google Ads Profile. And you're going to have to scroll until you see there's 2 listings for Google. There's one that says ad settings, and there's one that says Google's ad settings. And click the one that says Google's ads settings.
Okay.
Hopefully everyone's following as well, the same words. Now you see you're on a thing that says My Ads, My Ad Center.
Uh-huh.
Is that where you are? Okay, great. So on this first page that everybody's on now, it says these are your ads. So you can actually see your latest ad brands. So my most recent ad is from KitchenAid. And you can see what yours was. Do you want to tell us?
Meyer.
So random. Okay, and then it actually shows you.
So that's interesting.
It is interesting. And it actually shows you each of your ads. So you can here actually customize if you'd like to. You can customize and change things so that you don't get certain ads or you do get certain ads.
Uh-huh.
But on the left side of the screen where there's like or if you're on your phone, I'm not sure, but there's My Ads, Customize Ads, and Manage Privacy as settings or pages. So if you click on Manage Privacy, this is where they definitely modified this since I did it last time, so it's not as cool. But under Manage Privacy, it says there's a category that says categories used to show you ads, and it will tell you stuff about yourself, and you can see if it's true. So mine says my relationship is single, which if you're counting it as single or married, I would be single.
Yeah.
So mine's correct on that.
Mine says
and then
in a
it
relationship.
just goes all the way. Oh, it thinks I'm single. So yeah, and then it just goes through. So like my household income, mine says average or lower income. I don't know what that means, but you can literally go in and change it. But it knows I have a bachelor's degree. It knows I'm a renter, which I'm not. I actually own now, but I used to rent. It knows that I'm not a parent. And this is all stuff that it learns about you from how you use the internet.
That's interesting.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's upsetting and sad to me is that it used to be much, much cooler because it would literally have just lists and lists and lists of like, you like this kind of car, you like this sport. Like it was really, really in depth, but I can't find it anymore. So if I find it, I'll let everybody know because it's really, really cool. But yeah, that's what Google knows about you.
Wow.
And then you can tell it if it's right or wrong. If you'd like to like personalize your ads more, you can also turn off personalized ads in this setting. So if you're listening to this and you get freaked out when you see an ad that like is really, really accurate, then you can turn it off.
I think it's really funny when people get freaked out by that. Like they think like, oh, my phone's listening to me. Of course it is. You have that setting on.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's what I always say too. And it's like, oh my gosh, I just, I just saw this ad on Facebook. And it's only something I've said out loud. And I'm like, yes, that's been in the news. That's been in articles. Like, that is a proven fact. They use your microphone. Like, it's
and you have that
you sign that away.
On.
Yes, you sign that away when you say, I read the terms and conditions, even though you didn't. Which is, yeah, sure, it's scary. But it's like also, we could all be reading it, but we don't. We choose not to. So, like, that's where you end up. I'm trying to see if I can find this other page, but I really just don't know if I will. But yeah, it used to be cool. It was like, you like to watch F1 racing and just really crazy accurate stuff like that, which is really, really fun. So yeah, that's what I know. Check out your, whatever it's called, My Ad Center on Google, which is really interesting.
I liked it.
And yeah, it's fun. I wish there was more for us to read on there, but that's okay.
Of course.
Anyways, that's the marketing. That's how Google is knowing what ads to give to you. Very fun. If I find something cooler though, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Because I wish there was more. It used to be so freaking cool. But yeah, you can go in and you can customize your ads. Like there's a shaving and grooming. You can say, I want more shaving and grooming, or I want less shaving and grooming, or I'm fine with the amount of shaving and grooming ads I get. And you can customize each one. Also, if you go into the customize ads section and then you click on brands, so there's topics, brands, or sensitive. If you click on brands, it shows you all the brands that you've either searched or you might like personal to you. So mine says like Victoria's Secret, Aerie, Garage. And then I can say if I want more or less. And then finally, on the customize ads page, this is still more customized stuff about you guys. You can go to the sensitive tab. And this is where you can limit ads about sensitive topics. So what's interesting is that mine has alcohol ads are allowed. Dating ads are allowed. Gambling ads are not allowed. Pregnancy and parenting is allowed, and weight loss is allowed. I don't know why it says I did that. I don't recall ever doing that, but that's another interesting one.
So, yeah. All of mine are allowed.
Apparently, I disabled gambling ads. I don't have a gambling problem, but I guess I haven't been missing out on anything. Yeah. Not getting them.
Huh.
So yeah, check out your guys' Google My Ad Center and click around. You'll learn what it thinks you are. Whether or not it's true, who knows?
So silly.
Yes, but anyways, let's wrap it up because we've been here for so long, and you guys were good little students. I guess you can go to recess.
Aw.
But anyways, that's it for today's episode. Anything else that you want to say before we get out of here?
I don't think so. I got my questions out.
Let's go. Next episode is going to be a game night, you guys. Yay! We're going to go make a drink. So we'll have a little drinksies. We'll play a little game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for next week's episode. Follow us on Instagram. You guys know the drill. Follow us right now and check out our stories because we always have fun stories the day the episode comes out. It's at We Run on Coffee. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening. And with that, I'm Arika.
And I'm Marissa.
And we run on coffee.
Bye.